Mike Farley has brought energy, integrity, and a big dose of humor to the confectionery industry for nearly 4 decades. Mike's story begins on March 14, 1963, in San Francisco. He describes his parents, Tony and Diane, as the best you could ask for. They provided structure and strictness, but also plenty of fun, and just enough rope for Mike and his siblings to learn life's lessons. The youngest of 3, Mike has always carried a balance of responsibility and humor. Upon high school graduation, he headed to Chico State, where he earned a degree in marketing and began developing his leadership skills, serving as president of Sigma Nu fraternity. It was also at college where he met Liz, the love of his life. The two married in 1988, and together they've raised 3 daughters, Hannah, Shannon, and Mia. Candy wasn't Mike's original career plan. He dreamed of being a firefighter. In fact, he attended firefighting school and volunteered with his local fire department. He says his time as a volunteer firefighter was one of the most rewarding, exciting challenges of his life. But when he took a role with the Hershey Company after college, something clicked. He says the joy and nostalgia that candy sparked in people was contagious, and he was hooked. Mike spent 21 years at Hershey, where he held positions in sales, training, HR, and account leadership, before taking on roles with Godiva Chocolatier, Acosta, and Perfetti Van Mel. Since 2019, he has served as Vice President of Sales at Getz's Candy Company. When asked about his proudest accomplishments, Mike highlights 3. The first was having his managerial mentoring skills recognized by Hershey's senior leadership. His second was creating an HR team dedicated to supporting the sales staff. The third, which he says was the most important, was choosing a role that reduced his travel so he could be present during his daughter's formative years. Over the years, Mike has also poured his energy into the industry, serving on the Sweets and Snacks Expo Committee, the NCA Broker Advisory Committee, and as an NCA Future Leadership Program mentor. He's also worked on the Western Candy Conference Committee. His contributions have earned honors, including the Hershey's USA President's Cup and Executive Award of Excellence. He is also this year's NCA Silver Candy Dish Award recipient. While candy has been Mike's career, tennis has been his passion. He won the North Carolina State Tennis Championships twice, and he served on the USTA's Committee on College Club Tennis. Through the Blue Sky Foundation, he shared his love of the sport with military families. Of course, no career is without its lighter moments. Mike relays that while he was at Hershey, he had to wear a white shirt and tie every day when calling on more than 150 retail locations. He said he was very good at selling Hershey bars and Hershey syrup, but what made him most proud was how quickly he could destroy the spoils in the back room with an old box cutter. Unfortunately, his ties sometimes got in the way, and he spent his first few bonuses replacing all the ties he ruined. He tells those starting out in the industry to surround yourself with people you can learn from and those you can coach. Mike says he'd like to be remembered as a husband, father, friend, and colleague who was fun-loving, loyal, and focused on making those around him better. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Liz, Mike's wife of 37 years, who will help us induct him into the Candy Hall of Fame.